So this week is a super exciting week for Jeff and I because something that me in particular, have dreamt about for, I don't know, decades, is happening. And it's just a reminder that for all of us, when you trust the path that is ahead of you and you just keep doing the work that you do, and you focus on getting better in the things that you do and how you do them, all of a sudden an opportunity can come to you. It's been, I don't know, maybe, I don't even know when they first reached out to us, but a great guy named Michael from Georgetown University reached out to us several months back and said, I'd love to have you and Jeff come and speak about the modeling industry and how it really works and what it really looks like. And then when we looked into the prestigious Georgetown University lecture program, the fund, and who has spoken there and just all of it, it at first was wow, and then it just felt like, well, of course. To one degree or another, we've been preparing for this forever. Back when I lived in Iowa before I knew Jeff, I used to do lots and lots of public speaking. I love it. And it was during the time in the 90s when it was all about image and dress for success, and I just would go out and talk. And then that led to just television. It led to some really exciting things. But the other thing that I really appreciated about how this opportunity came is that Michael shared that he has been following us on our social media for about 10 years. He was very familiar with us, and I hope that serves as encouragement to everyone out there that you just never know who's paying attention or what things could be in the works that you aren't even aware of. Part of my faith is knowing that God has my past handled and He's already handled the future, and I just need to live today and do the most that I can in this day and follow what's inside my heart. And, in the long run, it doesn't fail you. In the process of it, there's going to be times where it seems overwhelming, and that comes to the topic today that great things take time. Great things take time. One of the things that we say to our models is you cannot weigh and measure the journey of being a model, but you can say the same thing about an entrepreneur, a marriage, a relationship, any worthy endeavor. The beautiful thing is that you just have to keep on keeping on, and you never know where that can take you. And we're in a season in our life where I feel like we're experiencing that in exponential ways, and I absolutely love it. There is no quick way. Now, here's the challenge is in today's world, everybody's trying to take the quick way, and then you layer social media on top of that, and everyone feeling like they have to share every time they breathe or take a meeting or do any minor accomplishment. It pulls you into that trap of weighing and measuring or counting. I saw an interview this week, and it's something that carry it on my heart so much, that for especially young people, but I don't think it's just young people, in social media feeling like you are counting how many people like everything and followers, et cetera, and I do much better, and Jeff and I both do much better to not pay attention. We've never set up a robot, we've never paid for followers. We just really wanted to feel like every single thing that we've done was earned through hard work and effort. And I think that it's the healthiest way to look at things, and to be okay with great things take time. And guess what? The fruit of that, on the other side of it, when it manifests, is so much sweeter. When we have dealt in our business life with models who were in a hurry, in a rush, first of all, they didn't enjoy the journey nearly as much as they should have. Second of all, they could never settle into, you got to settle into where you are and go, wow, look at where I am today. That's why I like journaling or keeping track of not accomplishments for the sake of it, but for the gratitude of look how far we've come. Being in a hurry sometimes could diminish a really great opportunity for settling for something good just because you felt like it's what you should do. When I see things on social media, trust your instinct and your gut knows and you know and you're the queen, I'm like, oh no, not for me. I trust the wisdom that I've gained, but I find that comes from surrender and prayer and listening and not feeling like I know everything, because I don't. I mentioned last night, or the last podcast, how much we love Gary Vee. If you don't follow him on Instagram, you have to be okay with lots and lots of F-bombs, and you have to be okay with other things. His message to me, he's just so direct. He's passionate. Today he talked about humility, which I think humility is everything in a world that seems to be losing it by the clicking tick-tock of the clock. He's a humble guy, and I appreciate it, although you might read him as otherwise. But as he shares, and you really listen, I believe that he is. He talked about walking in gratitude, and today he talked about this. I'm doing this on Sunday, so I don't know. Would they still be able to watch it? Jeffy's looking at me like, why are you saying that? But he talked about short-term highs, how people are so obsessed with the short-term high that they negate the long-term goal of being patient, of resting in that growth that can only come over time. Real growth takes time, and being prepared takes time. And I'm excited that we're in a place where we want to share even more stories about what that looks like and how it really is, so it can inspire more people to understand that that's what life is supposed to be. Sadly, I think that there's a huge part of our culture that just wants to be famous just for the sake of fame. I don't understand that. I think that it sets people up for disappointment, and social media is a huge part of that. He talked about, too, people struggle when they lose because they're worried about what everyone else thinks. I've seen that. We've seen that in our business. Sometimes family and friends especially become really worried about what's happening in the careers of one of our girls if it isn't manifesting in a time that they see fit, even though they don't know the nuances of this industry and how you build things over time. A great career takes time. Grace Hartzel is single-handedly one of fashion's favorite models. She's so unique and so artistic and walks to the beat of her own drum and is so talented. I'm telling you, as her career continues to unfold and you really discover the layers of Grace Hartzel, her talent within music, and we believe going into acting and et cetera, she's just really special and so sweet. We love her so much. But there was a 3-year quote unquote dry spell. It wasn't a dry spell. There were things that were happening, but it wasn't like she was being shot out of a cannon into the fashion stratosphere. It literally, from beginning to end, was about 3 years of things that needed to transpire for her to really be in the timing and the position for everything to happen. The same thing happened with Alanna Arrington. It took time. I look at Myla Dalbesio, how for, I believe it was 8 years from beginning to the time that she actually did Sports Illustrated, it could have been longer, she just kept finding her place, and she evolved, and then the opportunity came, and then it all went like this. And those things take time, and I'm glad that they take time, because you need to be prepared for the reality of what that is. The hurry-scurry to get things done and be able to post them on social media or become a superstar overnight, or all those things, all of that is an issue of pride. It's an issue of pride and wanting to appear perfect, or wanting things to happen overnight. And in our 2 decades of doing this, and knowing I had put out 3 or 4 years ago, it's actually been longer than that. It's been about 5 or 6 years since I started writing. I literally, there's a 4-year time frame in our life as a family where my priorities needed to shift and be able to be there and also continue to build our business, but the writing had to be on the back burner for a little bit. I never felt that that was a failure. I actually now know, oh my goodness, I have so much more to write about, that the finished product will be way better. And I trust that, because great things take time. And I don't need, the great thing that's happened through our years of many things is you learn to not worry about what people think. And I think that that's the healthiest place to be. However you can get to that place, I think it comes from humility and surrender and just trusting your journey, and also not being afraid to open up new things in your life. Gary Vee talked about that, as a matter of fact, today too, about the willingness to try new things and not worry to be concerned that maybe you are a master at it, or that you are an amateur in the beginning. Now, at the same time, I do want to say, for anybody out there that's building a business, don't rush it. Don't be in such a hurry. Great advice came to us from our dear friend Jason probably 3 years ago. He was like, don't show all your cards. And it's valuable, truthful wisdom. And it goes against the grain of social media. And it goes against the grain of everyone pushing you to feel like you have to somehow share everything. Sometimes it's fun to surprise people. It's actually really lots of fun. This morning I listened to or watched Carl Lentz. Hillsong to us is Hillsong in New York is just a huge part of, we're just thankful for the people there. They're amazing. And he talked about today, if you're not killed by losses, you can be killed by success. The seduction of winning is often as devastating as the pain of losing. Some people get caught up in momentum and then they get proud. Avoid that at every cost. That's why you have to be okay to fail, quote unquote. Or you have to be able to go out to your first Fashion Week season and not have it be what you thought it was going to be. Or you have to try something new and go, you know what, I thought this was going to be a huge thing and it wasn't. We had that when we did our Model Truth project several years back. We thought that it was going to be a huge success, and the reality is, no. But we learned a lot. And also in the journey of the models that we've managed, and did everyone go off to be a superstar? No. But we know they learned and we learned. And when disappointment comes, you find what you're made of. And that's really important and valuable. Michael Hyatt is somebody that I respect. I've read lots of his books. I think he's practical. And he said a quote that I think is a great way to end this. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. Find the strength inside of you to keep and hold on to every dream that you have in your heart. Don't put a time frame on it. Remind yourself daily that great things take time. Maybe that should be a tattoo. and just enjoy the journey and the process. Seek and find you. That's the best advice ever. I hope you have a great week. We are excited to be going to Georgetown University with Alanna Arrington, and I can't wait to share more about it next week. Make it a great week, and happy Monday.